Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian.
I'm a pimp named Slickback.
Slickback?
Slickback.
Okay. And we're back with more Young Justice. It's been a minute. Last episode, Jacob, do you remember what happened?
Gods. And a lot of things that weren't supposed to be there. Because...
Magic.
Yes. As a man of science, as...
Wally.
Wally was.
Is.
He refuses to believe what's in front of his face.
I feel like he's more so denying that he's denying it.
Well, yeah, by the end, he was going back to his old dumb self where he's like, well, the girls believe it, so I've always believed it.
Well, no, he already admitted to M'gann that, yeah, I don't believe in magic. But magic shows are different. It's just for fun. Let's go.
But isn't he getting with the other chick now?
No. You want them to get together.
It's in the notes.
Ouch. What?
Oh, yeah. Gang's all here. No. Hey. Oh, and you know he's gonna be so condescending after it's done. He's gonna be like, see,
Batman.
This is why.
Condescending.
Look at it. He killed him instantly.
I need to talk to Aqualad. The rest of you, hit the showers and head home.
Head home? I am home.
Training simulation.
Just Aqualad.
My dreams are all Atlantis.
Atlantis? Or someone you left behind? You can split your time between the surface and the sea, but not your mind. Either you're here 100%, or you need to walk away. Make a decision, Kaldur. And make it soon.
Batman don't play no games.
I know if you play games, you're probably gonna die. So
what? Come on.
Este atomo, idean.
Oh.
Il pisan id in cadesperan.
Dinase, Galesis Philan.
Efkaris tose, annex.
Our beloved king was at the mercy of the vile ocean master. But two young students, Kaldur and Garth, intervened, allowing the Aquaman to triumph. Impressed with their valor, Aquaman offered both young heroes the opportunity to be his protege. Garth chose to continue his studies at the Conservatory of Sorcery, but the brave Kaldur accepted his king's offer and became Aqualad. Kaldur?
Your technique is excellent, but your choices remain predictable. Combat sorcery demands improvisation. Kaldur! Oh, so good to see you. Kaldur!
Apologies, my queen. Tula, would you accompany me to dinner tonight at the palace? I wish I could invite you as well.
I made that choice long ago.
We have another class, but I will see you tonight.
You have to tell him.
Oh, no.
what?
No.
You have to tell him that you failed the test.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Would you like me to turn that on?
No.
Well, would you like to help me make dinner? A few eggs, a couple of tomatoes, some milk, a bowl of flour, and a few cups of...
Oops.
Oops. I'm so sorry. I should have paid more attention. It was too much at once. Too much at once. Hello, M'gann. That's so me.
Stop.
What? Stop what? You keep asking for Wally and Artemis.
Exactly.
What do you have against those two, Jacob? Superboy and M'gann, they're perfect for each other because he's emotionally stunted and she has a lot of emotions, so it's perfect.
She's only emotions.
She also kicks butt. Oh!
That was careless, Alpha Squad. Don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
Master Bruce
Hey, look,
wishes to see
Cartoon
you.
Alfred. Yeah, sure.
What's this?
Training. Hand-eye coordination.
One-on-one?
If you think you can handle it.
Here, let me get that. And that, and this, and those, and these. How about that? This too. I got it.
Thanks, Uncle Barry.
You're welcome, kid.
You're a lucky lady, Iris. Our Wally certainly isn't that fast. Not when it comes to clearing the table.
Neither is my Jay, believe me. I know, you're a retired speedster. And since it's your birthday, we won't argue.
Wally's fast enough when he wants to be. We're suddenly out of ice cream.
Wally!
Oh dear.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations. An heir to the throne at last. Apologies, Prince Orm. I did not mean...
No fear, Kaldur. No one could be more thrilled at this news than I.
Thank you, brother. Thanks to you all.
We've seen this played out many times.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen it.
Tula's gonna be like, we can't be together anymore, and he's gonna be like, I'm going to the land then. Just as easy as that.
Heartbreak is never easy, Jacob. You don't understand. Couldn't say that. Oh boy.
Staying in Atlantis. With you. Because of you.
Look.
We wanted to tell you sooner, but Garth and I, we are together.
Anyway, well, I mean, they weren't hiding it. They literally spoke it to him, out to us. However, there are more immediate issues to deal with. Which is unfortunate for us. God dang, it's so cool.
Alpha Squad requesting reinforcements!
He may not have the magic.
He's
It's
got the
high level, but he's
precise
so,
combat.
yeah, his combat is probably so much better than yours.
Well, they have different expertise.
You know, I'm gonna bet $8
What?
and a handful of gummy bears that Uncle hired these guys.
Oh, this is cool. Look at that. Look at that.
Garth, look out!
Your tail, Brody.
No! Tula!
Oh, here we go.
She entered the Avatar state.
I mean,
If you suffered any injury, my brother would never forgive me.
The prince is right, my queen.
yeah.
This battle is mine.
And mine.
Your place is with Tula.
But Kaldur, no time for this, brother. Need all the help.
Yeah, I'm not switching schools. All my friends are at Gotham North.
You're going, or you give up your extracurriculars.
Mom, don't make threats you can't enforce.
Artemis, this is a chance to better your life.
No.
A chance I never had.
Okay, Mom. I'll go. I'll go for you.
Aqualad is called.
Hey, Garth.
You should be with Tula.
The Queen watches over Tula and sent me after you.
She ain't happy with that boy.
Yeah, you know.
He's like, I'm gone for 2 months.
When you're a
you
teenager.
were my friend.
They weren't
Trash.
They weren't official. Although still, bad move. Come on, bro. As amateur moves go,
Impressive.
We saw Aqualad take on Superboy.
Aqualad.
yeah, you saw this freaking braces, what they're called. It was. Just unfortunately, there wasn't anyone to hide his weapons.
He just had to hope that he wouldn't see me.
But he did.
Such a waste. You really have no ambition beyond serving Aquaman?
I summon the power of the Tempest!
He got his skills too. Again,
I mean, it had a charge up time.
of like a second.
He just had to say the words.
He didn't. He just wanted to.
But look, swinging double-bladed water lightning. Pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I'm not downing Aqualad, but they all have their specialities. Aha! Oh.
Fire no water.
Uh-oh.
You awoken the octopus.
Starfish.
He's trying to sleep, man.
If I can't have it, no one can!
Oh, he has one of those little predator missiles.
I used it earlier.
No.
Oh. Thank you, Garth.
With the dome compromised and the science center in ruins, we cannot safely secure or study it here in Atlantis. Perhaps the surface world can do better.
I'm sure they will be eager to try. Kaldur?
Call me Aqualad, my king.
Good. Good.
Made your decision.
The decision
on
is
Batman.
made. I'm here. 100%.
Just in time for your next mission. The Watchtower detected an immense power surge in the Bialyan Desert.
I was unable to secure the objective.
Coming back
I
stronger
was
now.
forced to execute Plan B.
You did well. Everything falls into
Fucking light,
place.
guys. I swear to God.
What?
We're
I don't
beings. We're
understand.
beings of light, and anyone who stands in the way of the light will die. And I will rule the galaxy as my new empire.
You are the chosen one.
Your new empire?
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Go forth.
Okay, so the only question that I wrote down, I had many more, I just didn't write them down.
I
I
gotcha.
was thinking in the moment.
I know.
Um,
Cyborg is, yes, that is him. That is Carrie Payton. I told you, like, at the beginning of this show, actually.
Look, Teen Titans impacted me in a lot of
No,
different
I
ways
know,
as a
but I
kid.
did tell you. By the way, that is Cyborg's voice actor. At
Yeah,
the
but
very...
is it actually Robin's voice actor?
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, see?
No, the only one that carried over is Carrie Payton. But he wasn't. He's not Cyborg. He's Aqualad.
Yeah, but why can't we just have Beast Boy and Raven?
Because it's different. Duh. Stupid head.
Who would win?
Against like this versus them?
Teen Titans or the Justice League? Not the full Justice League, the kid Justice League. The
You mean-
side
oh, this team.
Yes.
From Young Justice.
Yeah.
They're just called the team. They're not.
The
considered-
squad.
Yeah.
The B team.
Well, they're the co-op. The covert ops.
The if we have to.
No, they're the stealth. They're the stealth team, so that they're not. Because if you send someone like, the Flash, a little more noticeable than Kid Flash. Although,
He is faster.
I would probably say. Let's see, who have we got? Currently, I'd probably say maybe this team. The only thing that kind of makes it a bit of difficult is Raven, but I think that's it. Just because she has magic.
Yeah, isn't Raven like psychically stronger than M'gann?
M'gann, you know what? That hasn't been determined yet. Like they haven't shown like M'gann's like the extent of her abilities yet.
They've shown her throw eggs at people.
She didn't throw them, and it wasn't just eggs.
It was a lot of stuff.
Literally everything in the fridge.
Oh my God.
What do you have against their relationship?
And then she almost made out with the dude in the
Well,
middle of the kitchen. Like,
I mean,
come on.
Wouldn't you
have some class?
You can't tell me you wouldn't make out with Superboy.
His chin.
His chin. That's what stands out is the chin. Nice chin.
The jaw.
But I mean, she's an alien. He's an alien. Granted, he doesn't look as much as an alien as she does. But the only thing that makes her look like an alien is she's got green skin. That's literally it. But I mean,
I like how they're growing like the
Yeah.
subtle relationships of the group. Like, course, they're both aliens, but they both have their own emotional
and
nuances.
Yeah, they're both.
And then there's
they're both emotionally. What's the word?
Compromise.
No. Immature. They're both emotionally immature, just in different ways.
Yeah.
He's got some pent up aggression.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And he also, the problem with it also, he's, still only a few months old, like 6 months and some change, however long it's been since they found him. So he's still kind of dealing with that at the beginning, and we don't know what being a clone, like what kind of complications that brings, like how chemically imbalanced he would technically be. We don't know how perfect or imperfect the cloning process was.
With like how the chromosome changes and everything like that.
Yeah. And then there's M'gann, which, I mean, she was a Martian. She didn't live on Earth, so she's not fully adapted to, how socially we are.
Yeah.
Like how we work socially. But she's adapting the best she could. She almost kind of seems sort of leaning towards sitcom-ishy. Like in terms of her, like, hello, Megan. Just kind of like, that just kind of seems that she's maybe, however long she's been on Earth, maybe she's done some research, and that's what she's gotten so far.
Yeah.
So.
And it just keeps coming back to her that, like, hey, you're not really supposed to do this in a conversation.
It's also kind of like whenever they had that moment between them, it was just like, again, with the whole emotional immaturity, there's all that all of a sudden just kind of coming to a point. It's like, they're really close. There's some physical contact going on. So that's kind of just like jump-starting everything. He doesn't know what to do with it because he's like, whoa, what's this? I've never dealt with this before. I mean, it's in my head how to deal with it, considering he's got that kind of programmed in there, but he's like, first time dealing with it. She's just like, he's really attractive. So, because I mean, he is.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's kind of funny, and I find it endearing, personally, and I just like her. I find her attractive.
It's because I'm green, isn't it? The
Well,
line from The Grinch. He gets rejected by the taxi driver.
It's because I'm green. But sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, and then also the little subtle hints at a relationship between Artemis and Kid Flash, because Kid Flash has always been like all over the place in terms of like, oh, this girl's attractive, and he's obviously like insecure about a lot of his feelings towards like being lesser than the group, or me being the butt of jokes and whatnot, and like
considering his speech gets brought up often.
Yeah.
Because not just here, but like in a previous episode, I believe it was the third one, where M'gann, she first showed up and she was kind of showing her her abilities where she can shapeshift. Currently, she can only shapeshift into like a female form.
Yeah.
And Robin brings up, well, when Flash can vibrate, his molecules and phase through walls. When Wally does it, his nose starts to bleed. He's like, dude, come on. So yeah.
And then Artemis is like, she outwardly seems like a super badass, like assassin type character, but she also has a lot of insecurities and stuff, obviously, with her backstory. We haven't gotten to her full backstory yet. We've kind of hinted at it, but I think they complement each other well in terms of like she kind of reins him in.
They kind of almost sort of put out everybody's, not personality, but like they showed a little window into everybody's life, and they did it with her too. But they showed less. Like she has so much more of a mystery around her.
Yeah.
Just like with what they showed her, they did show like that she does have a soft spot for her mother, and that she does care for her mother. Like even there was that instant first where she was just like, "Mom, don't try to threaten me. You can't do anything about it." But then when she's like, "I want you to live a life better than I did," she sees her mom in the wheelchair. She's like, crap, I'll do it for you, Mom. And she wasn't like, oh crap, fine. She was actually like, I'll do it for you. She was very caring about it. So she definitely cares about her mother. So we kind of can see like she has a shell up, basically a defensive barrier. And she likes her safety measures as well. Like she didn't want to go to Gotham Academy because her friends were at the other school, which I mean a lot of kids, they don't like to move when their friends are in another school. So that's understandable. But yeah, we'll see where that kind of goes. If that'll maybe like start a slow chink in the armor she has or not, or if it'll add to what will maybe break it down.
I'm still of the mindset that she's going to be the Terra of the series.
That's fair. They gave the thing is they haven't really addressed any more of that. Like they haven't put any other like I wonder if this could be a thing about her. It was just that one scene in when they first introduced her with Cheshire. And she's like, I wonder if you can handle me telling them all of your secrets. But they didn't go any further than that. And there was obviously the point where Roy shows up and is like, I know you're not related to Green Arrow, but they're lying for a reason. So I'll let it go for now.
Yeah.
And we'll just don't hurt my friends or.
Because of course Batman being super intuitive and
a detective.
Yeah, a detective. Like he would know
and
something's not right, but
Oliver
he
would also know that hey, she's not my niece.
Yeah. This isn't right.
Something's off here. But one other thing I thought was really cool, going into showing into the windows of some of these people's lives with Wally, just kind of seeing like more of the Flash family, not just showing Barry Allen, which is not the first Flash, but probably the first Flash you might know more of. Like you've seen him anyway. You've seen Barry Allen, the one with the red. Now the older guy is the first Flash. That's Jay Garrick. When he was created, he was in a more of a much older times in the comics. So like the costume was it had like the more like the kind of the old tin military helmet.
Yeah.
You know. So have you seen? I don't know if you've seen his costume before.
I haven't.
I'll actually show you right now. But it was just kind of cool seeing like all the different speedsters in the room.
So are they simply how are they related, or are they related at all?
So Barry, Wally said thanks Uncle Barry. So his uncle. Yeah, his Barry's wife Iris is his aunt. And I think more so with Jay, it's just they're like family to them. They're not necessarily related, but they're so close. I'm assuming, at least in this universe, that Jay was kind of like sort of a mentor for Barry. So that's kind of what that leads to, because it's like, you've been a speedster. This is kind of more so like the old school.
Okay.
Flash's costume.
Yeah. Like old World War II helmet.
Yeah, and they kind of piece it together like, some jeans and a belt and stuff like that. And nowadays it might seem a little bit silly, but I don't know. I don't know. I still think it's kind of got a classic feel to it, even though it does seem a little odd. But it was cool seeing them, and kind of a mention of I know you're not as fast. You're retired. I know.
Like age is catching up to him. Yeah,
I mean, it happens to everybody, even the speedsters. It probably happens slower to them. I don't know how old did they say he was? Because I'm pretty sure they said how old he was in this, right? Like, was he 70 or something?
Who, Barry?
No, Jay Garrick.
Oh, I thought you were saying Barry was 70. I was like, wow.
It was Jay's birthday. I just don't remember how old he is. They just said it. I just don't remember. I think they said it. Anyway. And then there was we kind of saw in the very beginning kind of a slow build of Robin's issue.
Oh, yeah.
So what'd you think of that?
Him trying to be recognized as the leader from Batman himself.
Actually, that was more so is like because the thing is with this Robin, is I'm pretty sure he was adopted by Bruce.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was adopted by Bruce before. Like Robin became Robin after that. Like he didn't know he was Batman. He had no intention of making him Robin, of training him at all.
Until after.
His parents had an accident, and Bruce was there and saw it. And he felt like he needed somebody to care for him. So he adopted Dick. But unfortunately, the job got in the way a lot, so he wouldn't be around. And eventually he stumbled into the Batcave and found out that he was Batman. And so that kind of led to him becoming Robin and being trained. He actually, the first version of his costume was part of his act, because Dick was a circus act. He was with his parents in a circus.
Oh.
Yeah. They were a trapeze act. And that's how they died. Somebody tampered with their set, with the wires, and it broke, and they fell to their death. And he was on the beam, and he was too far to catch them. And so he was there watching them die and falling, and he couldn't do anything about it.
God.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It was a pretty tragic. That's why Bruce is like, I dealt with almost the exact same thing. I was there. I couldn't do anything. I will take care of you. Unfortunately, he couldn't. But this was more so like when he was like, I don't talk to Aqualad alone. He's like, okay, all right. It was like kind of like encroaching on his father territory, if you will. He's like, but we talk. It's just you and I. That's our thing. We're the duo. We're the dynamic duo. And so that was kind of like that was his frustration. That's why, whenever it showed Bruce noticing that, he's just like, hey, we're gonna have some training, one-on-one, hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And so, but they're like, oh, one-on-one, huh?
Yeah.
So it was more so like, yeah, we need to spend some time together. I've been shirking that too much. It was kind of like when Bruce had reprimanded Clark for not standing up as Superboy's father figure.
Yeah.
He was like, oh crap, I need to spend some time with Dick because I've been kind of unintentionally ignoring him.
Yeah.
But going off of that, Robin's got some skills. That was
he's what, 15, 14?
He's 13.
13. He put a hole in a wall.
Yeah. Well, he put a small crater in the concrete wall. Yeah.
In a concrete wall.
Well, he's been taught, so he knows like.
And not to mention his almost Olympic style ring.
Again, he was in the circus. That was a huge help in the training when Bruce was training him. Is he already had some acrobatic skills? Like he's been doing this since he was much younger. Like when his parents had died, he was 9.
Oh, okay.
So he'd been doing it from before then. So he's been training as a trapeze artist for I don't even know how long. So he has that innate talent and innate that almost birth training to do what he's doing right there. So that was like a small little look into his life, his training, and his how he was before. So it's like that just shows like, hey, this is a small bit of his trapeze thing coming in. But like, what the heck? He's just kind of doing. Was he doing like reverse pull-ups or whatever? I forgot whatever they were.
He was doing practically handstands on these rings, which you would have to have the core strength to balance yourself from flipping back and forth.
While the string is you have to have the core strength, the shoulder. You have to have a lot.
Yeah.
You have to have every muscle available.
And this kind of speaks to how cool Robin is in this series because of the fact that he's only been away from his parents for 4 years. He's learned combat to such a degree. He's learned stealth to such a degree.
6.
And he's
4. Sorry, I was thinking of you, Robin.
and then of course his tech skills that are off the charts for someone who's only been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's a prodigy. Batman was a prodigy. It all.
He picks up things quickly because there's certain things he doesn't know how to do.
Oh yeah.
And it's been 4 years of training, so that's what helps. He was trained by Batman, so it's more so because there's certain things there are the other Robins, like all 3 Robins basically have their specialty. Dick was the one that picked up basically the combat and the acrobatics the quickest out of all the Robins that come down the line. But what I thought was just interesting, like just that bit of him being frustrated that Aqualad was getting attention from Batman, that psyched him out. That messed him up. Like whenever he was doing the flip and trying to land on the thing, I'm pretty sure he's landed it countless times.
Yeah.
And he stumbled.
He's probably been making that jump since he was like 6.
Yeah. He recovered, he fell, but he recovered before. Like he didn't fall. He rolled out and stood back up. He fell into the wall, but he's like he didn't. That could have been a much worse fall.
Yeah.
Not injuring necessarily, but definitely not as semi-graceful as it was. But that alone just pissed him off. He's like, God, I can't believe I messed that up.
Yeah.
Again, we got a little look into more of like the kind of schooling of some sorcery, at least for the what's up?
No, I was checking the time.
Yeah,
I was checking. We do this every time.
I was checking it. Yeah, I know. I was checking it in my head. I was like, I'm going on for so long. I need to find a cutoff point. But there's so much to talk about in this one, man. But yeah, we saw more of the sorcery. There's we saw what we've seen what Aqualad can do, but now the extent to what he could have done if he chose to stay at the school instead.
Yeah, this is just starting to. It's almost like they're they're building on to something that's going to happen on a really grand scale, because they introduced magic lords, cosmic beings, practically, and these new enemies of Atlantis and all this stuff. We still haven't touched on the doctor that Red Tornado beat up, or Red Tornado and the gang. The guy that impersonated Red Tornado, that was like a robot inside.
Oh no, he wasn't impersonating him, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. So, but like, we haven't touched on that again. We haven't touched. There's a lot of stuff that is still left up in the air that I feel like will compound. Just like the super soldier dude that. No, just a normal guy.
Sportsmaster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a.
Pretty great.
No superpowers, and he called them a warm up.
Well, I mean, that's no big deal. Dude, yeah, man. See, this is why one of the reasons I love this show so much. Is like, it's so well written. Like, there's things that seems like it would be. There are certain episodes that are standalones, but then there are certain episodes where you think it's standalones, like it's slightly interwoven, and this is what connects it. It's like, oh, and there's certain things that maybe you would see here that you still think that didn't connect it, even though you did see that the episode. It was interwoven somewhat. There would be elements that connected that you didn't know it connected. And it's like, oh my god. Every now and then I'll still find something that I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. And it's just, I just love the show so much. And it wasn't a show necessarily written for kids. Like, kids will enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
But there are obvious.
Oh, there's
elements.
so much in-depth stuff in this that
in-depth. And
if I was 12 years old, I'd be like,
what? This is
I didn't get that, but it was cool.
But not just that stuff, but there's the obvious innuendos.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, like even in the blatant in episode 6, where Artemis first comes in, and she's like, that boy, and you lost your mind. You're like, come on.
you see stuff like that in even in shows that are like supposed to be made for kids. Like SpongeBob was one of my favorite shows growing up, and it's still like, and it holds a special place in my heart even as an adult, because of this different like innuendos and stuff, and the things that you see, because it's adults writing a kids show about adult characters. So
yep,
some things are going to come out at some point.
But I feel like this is a lack of a better word, more comfortable coming from this show than it would be seeing it in SpongeBob, I think. You know what I mean?
Well, this show started off on a real mortal note, I should say, about like, mind control.
What do you mean?
Like aliens.
No big deal.
Killing
Happens
people.
all the time. Totally for kids.
Totally.
No, yeah. It's man. I do like kind of they don't necessarily, like, this has been mentioned by other people before. Like, they don't necessarily hold punches in terms of like putting a character in, like, whether you like, they're putting characters that either medium knowledge comic people would know, and even people that are like in-depthly read the comics. There's like different levels. Like, there are people, characters for people that don't know much about the comics, and they still would know, like Robin. But they don't like hold your hand about it. So I like that element of it. Like, sometimes I want to know who this is, but what would surprise me is that more often than not, I would see like a character that might seem obscure to some, and I'm just like, oh, I can't believe they brought them here. Oh my god! Like, I vaguely knew who Sportsmaster was. Like, I didn't know who Sportsmaster really was whenever they brought him in, but I do now for sure.
I don't know, he gives off such a Slade vibe to me. Like,
for
just
sure.
this
I think
this
that's
badass super soldier that's just like, superpowers. I deal with that all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, now, real quick mention of, we have to mention Queen Mera, because that was
my God,
impressive. She invoked the combat octopus.
The Kraken?
The Kraken.
I was expecting, like, oh, it's going to be Mermaid Man, or... Is that what he's calling this?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
You're thinking of SpongeBob again.
Get interwoven.
Mermaid Man.
Boy. Yes.
No, Aquaman.
Aquaman. I was expecting Aquaman to do some like real badass stuff with like the sea and
but
like,
the thing is, he wasn't there because he had to go on just a mission. So, yeah.
But then she stepped up and she was just like,
I'm more powerful.
I'm queen for a reason.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, she teaches I think it's called the Conservatory of Sorcery. I could be wrong. I know Conservatory and Sorcery is involved in the name. But yeah, she teaches that.
And then she had the gall to tell Aqualad, "You're not a part anymore."
Well, I mean, in terms of sorcery,
living.
Well, Mera could probably kick his butt.
Not Tula. Tula and Garth,
they
couldn't touch him.
Again.
But they all have their own... You can say it's like, okay, they have magic so they can stay at range. He literally has a whip.
Not what I was going to say, but he does have a whip. But his whip would probably have a certain, like, speed on it. Like, I don't know if the range, because I know it works on water. And considering he's in the ocean, I could probably relatively... I don't know if it's, like, how much, like, focus you have on it, like... how much you can extend or how much you can focus to, make it focused. I think I said that already. But I don't know if that would have necessarily a limitless length on it. But I think their blast would have a bit more of a range. But
so if he was stronger in magic, would his blade ability be better?
Probably. I mean, I think it is more so that he would just have the blade ability. I mean, he does have other. He can actually use water in other ways.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he almost has to be more skilled in combat than the other guys because he has to learn.
He's more skilled in like martial combat, but in terms of like
well, because he has to learn how to manage his magic at the same time with combat ability.
No, I'm not. Again, I'm not saying he's not skilled in the magic. What I'm just saying is that they have. It's like. There's just a different level of their skill with the sorcery. Like, they could probably make the blades and maintain it. They wouldn't be as skilled with sword fighting and sword play as he is, but they would be able to maintain it. It's just like, again, they have their different set of skills. They might be able to stay toe to toe with each other. I don't know, because she was pretty good.
I don't know. I just feel like he is like almost like.
I mean, he was taught by Aquaman, so there's that. But again,
so it's like he is literally he has everything on him. He can turn his thing into a mace, a sword, a whip.
But Black Manta still kind of upped him a bit. So he had technology.
He just flexed on him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Kind of. He was like backing him. He was like, "Oh well, if I can have it." Just shot his shoulder. Shoulder
by him. He was just like.
Yeah, he just electrocuted. I was like, "Stop it," which is interesting.
You don't know what you've done.
So it kind of shows like the limit on the kind of electricity that Kaldur can take, like how much he can take.
Yeah,
I should say.
You gotta edit it down by about an hour.
I can do it. Oh, this is just a random tidbit. Did you see all the Ben 10 series?
I watched like the original, like the first season or two. I want to say.
Never mind then.
Like not.
Trying to think what else I mean, he's been in a lot of other things. And the problem is you don't know voice actor names. Not very much. Not very many. Because I don't think you know who Yuri Lowenthal is.
I looked up the name of this anime voice actor that I hear in anime. I looked into it.
Who's he?
What's he been in?
What's he been in that you think I would know?
That I think you would know?
Yeah. So maybe I can help you out with the name.
Well, now I'm just drawing a blank altogether, so we'll have to talk about this another time.
What'd you think of? I mean, he was in there for like a second. It was only a simulation. What'd you think of Clayface?
Clayface?
Oh, you don't know who Clayface is?
Oh, he was the dude that... Was that a simulation when Batman showed up at the very beginning?
Yeah, that's why it turned. You thought it was... I thought either one you would get it was a simulation or it was
I either didn't see that part or I like looked away because I was making a joke about Batman. Like, 'cause everyone got their ass kicked and then Batman just shows up and he's just like... Y'all trash. You know that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
it was a transition.
Yeah, I thought it was just a transition to the future. I didn't.
No, yeah, it was. That's why they were still kind of covered in the muck. It's like one of those.
I didn't know it was just straight training.
Like no, they were just training. That's why it was like because again he showed up, and normally when out on missions on their own,
he doesn't show up.
Yeah, they don't show up. So
That's
this
true.
is like this was just training. He's like, I can help you during training, but you don't have this blanket outside, so just so you know that. And so that's why he was like, I need to talk to Aqualad.
Yeah, like
your leader's head is not in the game. So, but yeah, that was I think it was the only look that we've had like Clayface. And I guess you don't know who he is, so
I have no idea who that is.
Dang.
When I saw it, I was like, I've
multiple.
seen a lot of goop.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah,
'Cause
Clayface is one of the classic Batman villains.
He wasn't in Teen Titans, was he?
No, that was Plasmas you're thinking of.
Oh, okay. By the way, why didn't any of the Justice League show up in Teen Titans?
Oh, in Teen Titans, that was a. Oh, Jesus, here we go. All right, so that was what's it? A major point to like that started in the first place. There was a cutback or an episode late in the show that was like showing basically events leading up to the formation of the Teen Titans, like when Robin first went out on his own, because he was like, I'm done being a sidekick, I'm going out on my own. So he left Gotham and went to, I forgot whatever city they're in Teen Titans.
Because didn't they hint at it whenever I want to say, I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Beast Boy that went to the future. Someone went to the future Starfire, and she found Nightwing.
Oh, Nightwing.
And Nightwing pretty much said, yeah, we split apart, and I think he said something about Batman no longer being alive. Didn't he say that he was dead?
I don't remember that far. It's been a while since I've seen that.
I just know Nightwing looked badass for sure.
Well, because he's Nightwing, man. It's awesome.
He's like adult Robin.
Yeah,
That sounds cool. Sidetrack.
I just thought, well, yeah, but I thought it was funny was your reaction to me doing this.
Yeah, you did it, and I was like, "What? You got a fucking headache or something?"
Yeah, because I was like, "Oh."
I was like, "Oh, he had an epiphany, like he was doing like the head slap." I was like, "What? Did I miss something?"
And then it happens,
and then I saw it. And I was
you will join me in this. That's it for this week's episode, Young Jets. Hope you enjoyed it. You Patreon, subscribe.
To me, Patreon, subscribe, OnlyFans.
But that.